Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today I'm doing a little book vlog. I'd actually kind of made the decision that on the Sundays that I don't have the book club, that I might do like just kind of rambling book vlogs on those days. So for those of you that don't know, I have a true crime book club and it is simply called the True Crime Book Club with my partner Mel, who is listed below. GingerGonzoReads is her Bookstagram account that you guys can go follow if you'd like to. So I just thought I would get on here and I would talk about a bunch of bookish stuff today, because I haven't done a vlog on here in a while, number one. Number two is that if you watch my vlog channel at night, which is anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half of me just driving around in a car and talking, I tend to talk a lot about books in my vlog, like the books that I'm reading, books that I want to read, books for the True Crime Book Club. And so sometimes it becomes a little bit much, I think, for the people that watch my channel. And so, because a lot of them love to read, but a lot of the people are like, hey, like, we don't really care about this. So, why are you talking about books? But anyway, first of all, I have to drive through Starbucks because I haven't had my coffee today. While I'm driving through Starbucks, I would like you to go check out somebody that is part of the book club, and her name is Melody. And Melody just recently started a channel, and her channel is called, I believe, Uniquely Melody. So go check her out. I will link her channel below. She's fantastic. What is that drink? Oh my God, there's a new... Are you kidding me? There's 3 new drinks at Starbucks for me to review.
Welcome to Starbucks. What can we get started for you?
Could I get a venti iced coffee with 1 equal? And I have my own cup, please.
Of course. All right. Anything else for you today?
No, I didn't know y'all had new drinks.
Oh, yeah, we do have new drinks. Do you need to maybe take a minute, come back to that?
No, because I already did the McFlurry today.
Oh, the McFlurry?
I reviewed the McFlurry, the Shamrock McFlurry from McDonald's, yeah.
Oh, how was it?
It was delicious.
Here, just come up to the
Okay, alright. So if you don't watch my review channel, this is Josh, the barista, and he has done a video with me, and he always is really helpful to me when I'm like driving through here. Hello. Yeah, I compared and contrasted the, where is my drink thing? I compared and contrasted the Shamrock Shake to the Shamrock McFlurry. Hold on.
I didn't even know that they had anything like that out. You have to try. I'm excited.
You've never heard of a Shamrock Shake?
No.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, which one's the best? The ginger one looks really good.
If you like ginger, definitely try it. I will tell you, I like ginger, and it's like a kick in the face. It is.
But I'm 50 and I like to kick.
Well, good. Yeah, the matcha one. You know I don't like matcha.
Yeah, but I matcha like matcha.
It's kind of good.
Yeah.
It's coconut milk, the matcha, and that pineapple ginger syrup.
And then what about the nitro?
Oh, the nitro is terrible.
Oh, is it?
It's so bad. Please try it.
Okay, well I will. I'll do that tomorrow. That's gonna be my review tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow, but
I'll try one of them. Which one should I try when you're not here?
When I'm not here?
Which one do you like the most?
I like the matcha one of the 3.
Okay, so I'll try the other 2 when you're here.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day. I had to get the McFlurry one done. But anyway, so you guys are like, okay, what's the point? This isn't even really a booktube vlog. Well, it is, kind of.
I'm glad you liked your blue drink, by the way. I never texted.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I think Jake Russell tried it after you left.
Did you like it?
The old one was a little different. The old Sun Milk was better, but I liked it. I didn't put blueberries in it, but it surprisingly tasted like a blueberry.
I thought it was really good.
It was really good.
Now, just so you know, I've been told that other Starbucks in Indianapolis are starting to put cards out with my drinks that I've reviewed on here. Just so you know, just so you know.
See ya.
Anyway, so last night, well, for those of you that don't know, I am going to Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. I am so excited. My husband was so kind to, he like went and secretly was talking to Mel, and they planned this whole trip because Mel has been my assistant, now partner, now co-owner of the True Crime Book Club. But when it started, she was just like helping me out, but now she's like, she's the book club, basically. She's the book club and I'm just the pretty face. No, oh my God. I mean, I'm the Mary, she's the Rhoda. No, I mean, she's the Rhoda, I'm the Mary. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But we're so excited. So I have known Mel online for 2 years and we've never met. And we talk on the phone all the time, we text all the time, and I'm so excited. So he arranged this whole trip for me. And so he's going to San Diego for a music festival, and I'm going to Phoenix to hang out and visit Mel, which I'm so excited. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna talk about book club stuff, and we're possibly putting together a podcast, a true crime podcast. We're gonna talk about that. And it's just going to be so much fun. But anyway, this month for March, our true crime book club is Butcher Baker, which is by Walter Gilmore and somebody else, but I don't know who the other person is. And it is about Robert Hansen, who is known as Alaska's most notorious serial killer. He supposedly killed 17 to 21 women. And so Mel picked this book out. The book was published. Ooh, I could use a little bit more equal in it. Tart. Anyway, so he supposedly killed from 17 to 21 women, and you get it now that like my vlogs driving around is basically me just in a car talking. So anyway, he it's like you're in the car with me. We're just kind of hanging out, having a conversation. So Melody, don't forget to go see Melody's channel, Uniquely Melody. Anyway, you'll love her. She's from Georgia, but she lives in Scotland now, so she says y'all with like a Scottish accent. She's adorable and she's smart and I love her. Anyway, and she comes in and she guests in our live stream all the time. Okay. Oh, this is my straw for my McFlurry. I don't need that anymore. Okay, but anyway, I didn't really want to read this book because it was so old, and I prefer to read true crime books that have been put out recently. But I have to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. I gave the book 4 stars, and let me tell you why. I would have given it 5 stars because I honestly couldn't stop listening to it. I wanted to be in my car driving around listening to the audiobook when I was at home. I had it playing. I loved it. I thought it was a very, very interesting read. But, you know, like more modern true crime has, although I will say at the very end of it, I'm kind of surprised for 91 that there was a lot of consideration of talking about the victims and all these kinds of things. It was kind of like the language that the authors used. I thought was interesting that they were very considerate of the victims, because that's something that we think more about today. We didn't really think much about that, you know, in 91. I mean, we thought about the victims, but as far as true crime books were literally in the bottom row of the grocery store. They weren't taken very seriously. It wasn't a genre that was taken seriously. And so today, you know, there's been kind of like, I would say, especially with I'll Be Gone in the Dark, there has been more of I think, a curated kind of craftsmanship to the genre. So anyway, by the way, The Golden State Killer, I'll Be Gone in the Dark book, came out this last week, and somebody sent me an article, and it said something about, like, he would be willing to tell them everything he did if they took the death penalty off the table or something like that. Which is, you know, this is really interesting to me because this came up in this book too. These serial killers that are basically, like, this was an American Predator as well, which was about an Alaskan serial killer, Israel Keys, is that the police officers and the FBI have to, like, really kind of treat them to some degree with kid gloves and be very, like, maneuver around these conversations, because the serial killers are really the ones that are in control of these conversations, because it's at the moment that they want to no longer share any information, they can, and then these police officers aren't going to find the bodies of the people, and that's really what they're trying to do, is they're trying to find the bodies of the people that are gone so that they can give these families some closure and they can close the cases out and things like that, you know? And it's like it happened in the Robert Hansen case. I mean, at one point he's like, now I gotta be getting something in return for what I'm doing, you know? Like, this is the book Butcher Baker that we just read. And it's like, you're sitting there listening to it and you're like, who are you to be deciding that, right? But then you realize, like, at any moment he could just shut up, like, and say, I'm not talking anymore, which he actually does. With Israel Keys was the same way. And what's interesting about this is we want to talk about the fact that serial killers have no conscience, right? But in both of those cases, their families were what was their bargaining chip, was that they didn't want their families to suffer. So you're enough of a family man to understand that your family is going to have, you know, be affected by your choices, but that doesn't come into play when you're killing other people. I don't know, like, and especially with Butcher Baker, it was very obvious to me that he had a conscience. Like, he knew the difference between right and wrong and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it was interesting. It's gonna be interesting book club discussion at the end of the month. If you want to join the book club, all you have to do is, underneath here is a link to the Goodreads book club. You just get on Goodreads, start an account, and join it. And then watch videos, and then we do the live stream, typically the last Sunday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouNow, which is linked below. And you can come in there and you can guest and discuss. The only thing that we ask when you guest is that you've read the entire book, so that you can talk about it. Well, I mean the majority of the book. So anyway, I got done with that last night, and I was like, so I'm going to Phoenix, and I'm like, you know, I don't want to read something super scary, because for some of it, I'm going to be staying by myself. And so I was like, okay, what's a book that I really wanted to read for a really long time, that everybody's told me to read, that I haven't read, that I like won't be able to put down because it'll be so good, but it's not scary. And I was like, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, because I bought this book on Audible, like when it first came out. It was recommended by Audible. It's literally been on the bestseller list ever since then. And I've never read it. My cousin even read it. My cousin, she's not even that big of a reader. She read it. And by the way, I have my own Reddit thread. It's called The Good Judies. Oh my God. So if you're on the Reddit, go over there. You can just search The Good Judies and you'll find it. But anyway, yeah, I was like, I should start this book because everybody else that I know has already read it. So I started it last night. I don't know how long I am in. I'm not far into it. I don't know, like 45 minutes or something like that, a half an hour. But the writing is just absolutely beautiful. It's just, her prose is incredible. And she apparently has written like 4 international bestsellers before. But I'm just like, I'm loving the book. It's just so beautifully written, and I think it's so fantastic. So I'm reading that, and yeah. And then I'm not sure, like, I want to take a book to Arizona with me, but I probably won't read a whole lot while I'm out there, you know what I mean? So I may not even take a book. I would like to go to a couple local bookstores while I'm out there, though. Maybe I'll do like a book tube, like, what do you call it? Tour, like when I walk inside and I like, you know, but the thing is I'm gonna be there over the weekend, which is gonna make it difficult because, you know, bookstores are gonna be busier on the weekends, but maybe I'll do that then. What did I finish reading before Butcher Baker? Oh, well, I will tell you this, if you don't watch my videos regularly, I am obsessed right now with the Audible originals, and by that what I mean is that every month, I think they come out tomorrow actually, I think they come out on the 5th, every month on Audible you get 1 or 2, I think I get 2 credits a month. I pay for 2 credits a month on Audible, so I think I get 2. But you get 2 picks out of 6, or 1 pick out of 6, I don't know. And they're like shorter books. They're like 2 hours to 6 hours. But I like some months didn't even make any picks because I thought they were so dumb. I was like, these aren't gonna be any good. I'm not interested in these. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. They're phenomenal. I went over and I did my February wrap-up, my last video, but I was so excited about it. I've been like waiting nonstop for the next one to come out. So yeah, you gotta go check those out if you haven't. You should definitely, I was gonna say I wish I had an Audible link, but you should definitely try Audible for a month if you haven't. Like, I love Audible. And you know what started for me, what's so funny is, it started for me back in the day. So I had a job in Indiana where I worked for a treatment facility, and I was basically the liaison between the Department of Corrections and the treatment facility. So I would go to probation departments and, you know, detention centers and whatever, and I would do assessments and evaluations to see if somebody was appropriate for treatment. So I was driving from Indianapolis to like, you know, Grant County, which is like 2.5 hours north, or, you know, like 2 hours south or an hour west. And I would drive all these different directions, you know? And I would literally have like 2 evaluations to do in a day. So the majority of my day I was in a car. And so, you know, other than like doing the evaluation and sitting down and talking to the judges or the probation officers or the parole officers or whatever. So I started listening to audiobooks, and I actually started listening to Patricia Cornwell is how I started. I mean, I've always loved mysteries and thrillers, but she was like who I would listen to. And I would go at the time to Half Price Books. I think it was Half Price Books that I went to, and I would buy the cassette. Did you see this? The cassettes and then the DVDs of the books, you know, like the audiobooks. This person's license plate just says Zumba. I live for it. They have a purple Jeep Wrangler and it says Zumba on the back of it. And let me just tell you, that is somebody that I wish was my friend. Totally, because you know they are living a fun life. Okay, so anyway, I've always kind of wanted to do Zumba. My husband used to be in this dance group, and it was like all these ex-cheerleaders, and my husband danced for, he was one of the dancers for, the Fever, the Indianapolis Fever, which is a women's basketball team. He danced for them when he was in high school. And so it was all these, he had this group where it was all these like old dancers from like cheerleaders and all this kind of stuff, and they were like had this hip-hop group. But this woman that ran it, she did like kids and all this kind of stuff, but then she also taught this Zumba class. And so at their like recital that they had, like the one time that I ever went, because they only had it like once a year, the Zumba group came out and they basically just did a Zumba class for like 10 minutes to all this like really fun like reggae music or whatever. And I was like completely, I mean, this was like literally 12 years ago, and I was like obsessed, and I was like, I want to join Zumba. And here it is 12 years later, I've never joined Zumba. Anyway, what was I talking about? The Audible originals. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to put together a little booktube. Welcome to a booktube vlog. I'm gonna do more of these. If you enjoyed them, let me know. Put it in the comment section below. Let me know what you're reading this month. I am aiming at between 8 and 9 books a month to keep up with my schedule. I have currently read 19 books for the year of 2020. I'm having so much fun this year reading. I'm loving it. And yeah, so I also am reading Funland by Richard Lehman on my Kindle, and I'm also reading Supermarket, I think is what it's called, by the guy that's the rapper. I started it, I don't love it, I have to say. Neither one of those books do I love. I'm reading those at home. So I have a physical copy book, an audio book, and a Kindle book going at any given time. Oh, I also have 3 graphic novels that I'm reading. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Oh, and the Peterisms book, I forgot. The Peterisms book for March, so if you don't know, we always, I have started in November doing a motivational, inspirational self-help book every month for my Peterisms channel. And the book for March is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I've never read it, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. So if you would like to read that as well, you can. I'll probably discuss it over here as well as over there. So anyway, over there on my Peterisms channel. My vlog is over there. My drama channel is always down there. Anyway, I love you guys, and my review channel is up, and away, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.